starting out with an oval tray, and I wanted to make this look really sea-like. So I've mixed up a resin that is full of glitter and a little bit of blue pigment. There's all sorts of lovely glitters in there because I love it, it's so sparkly. I then leave that to dry because I want that to be the edge. Cleaned up the edges there which seeped over. And I've got my foil insert. So this is one that I made myself. They're so easy to make. And you just place it face down in the mould. I'm putting a clear layer of resin over the top, but I'm not filling it to the top. Just a little bit, enough to cover the whole surface area, because you're going to want to put an extra layer after that, but you need it to be deep enough to create the effect. I'm taking some cling film, and what I'm going to do with that cling film is just lay it down on top of that wet resin, and I will then scrunch it. So you need to try and do this sort of one end to the other. Make sure those bubbles are being pushed out, all that air, because you don't want the trapped air in there. Although it doesn't really make a massive bit of difference. And then make some ripples and scrunch and whatever sort of texture that you want to do in that cling film over the resin. So you want to really push it down and make sure that it is laying right on top of the resin. And yeah, so it's entirely up to you what sort of pattern you go for. I wanted it just to be all scrunchy, looking with that, really making it look like crushed velvet. Under the sea, shimmering tones, yeah. So when you're happy with your scrunchie, just leave it to dry. Right, once this is dry, I'm now taking off that cling film. As you can see, it has got quite stuck to the middle part, but it's okay. It's honestly fine. You don't need to take every tiny little bit off. And I've just taken as much as that's loose, and then I'm just going to leave it because it's clear anyway. No biggie. I'm taking my chameleon pigment, which is a white powder with a little bit of a tint on it. So as you can see, I'm just spreading that around the mould. I'm spreading that all over that crunchy resin that's now dried with that shape on it from the cling film. And just dusting it over, making sure that it is. And see there was a bit of loose cling film, so I just pulled it off and then covered the resin that's underneath in this powder. And you can see there as the light's hitting it, it's got that almost blue tint to it, but it's not very obvious at this point. This isn't a branded pigment powder. This is just some random thing that I got off the internet. But there's plenty out there to choose from. So once you're happy with the coverage, then you're going to choose your background colour. I've chosen a black because I know that I've saturated the hardened resin full of that bluish chromy pigment. I want black because that will really bring out the tones of that. And if you could do this with white, but and any other colour, but I chose black for this one. So now it's dry, we're going to demold. Have a look at our little creation. Here we go. You can see that pigment's raised to the back there and dried on the back of the piece, but no bother about that. And look at that. See how beautiful it is. Here's our little octopus swimming in the ocean. Kraken. And then here it is, all finished up, ready to go to its new home. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little short video. I thought I'd start making some shorts for you. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.